others on the Cape, you know.
All right, I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen for Monday, July 8th to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First, I would like to recognize Boy Scout Luke Bradbury. Is this Luke?
Yes.
How are you this evening?
Great, how are you?
We're very well. Thank you for coming to observe the work of the Board of Selectmen. We're glad that you're here. Is there any public comment tonight? Do you have anything you'd like to say to the Board of Selectmen about town business? No?
We're late.
Thank you for being patient.
Got on time, I know.
Okay, first Selectmen's report. I have a couple things to share with you today. First, we want to officially welcome Dr. Alan Adley as our new superintendent. He started work last week here in the district. Joined us last Monday, and he comes to us from the town of Granby, Connecticut, where he served for 21 years. 11 of those years he served as Granby's superintendent. He's a native of Northern Ireland, where he started his career as a math teacher and a professional soccer player. Dr. Adley has 33 years of experience in public and private schools in the United States and Ireland, including Rumsey Hall Soccer School, the Gunnery School, Wamogo Regional High School, Watertown High School, and Hazelwood Integrated College in Northern Ireland. And he holds leadership positions in both state and national superintendent organizations. Of note is Dr. Adley is the 2019 recipient of the Connecticut Association of Public School Superintendents Superintendent of the Year Award. It's wonderful to be recognized by your peers in that way. We're very pleased to welcome Dr. Adley to Darien and look forward to working together for the benefit of our students, our families, and the community. We have some July 4th holiday thank yous. First, to the VFW Post 6933 for organizing, I can hardly believe it, the 15th annual Push and Pull Parade, and for the support of Erstad Biddle Properties for allowing us to continue to gather in Goodwife Shopping Center. And to our terrific Parks and Rec staff, the Darien Police Department, Norotan Heights Fire Department, the public schools, David Genovese, and all of the sponsors for the Darien fireworks. It was a huge success in spite of the need to change to our rain date of Sunday night. We had, I believe, just under 4,000 people attend the Darien fireworks, which is tremendous. We've had a lot of exciting promotions and hirings in the Darien Police Department. Don Anderson has been named chief-elect. He will take over when Chief Osborne retires on September 1st. We've had the following promotions to Captain Jeremiah Marin, to Lieutenant Nicholas Aranzulo, to Sergeant Derek Mulcahy and Daniel Scombros, and today Bryce Brown was sworn in as a new officer to the police department. He comes to us from Kate's hometown of Bethel, but he was also a former teacher in Newington, which is a very interesting background. Darien sidewalk sale days are coming up this Thursday, July 11th through Saturday, July 13th. Thank you to the Darien Chamber for organizing and to the sponsors, First County Bank, Bankwell, and Laurel Road Bank. I'd like to acknowledge publicly, and I was very pleased that Governor Lamont called me the day after the big storm that we had on the 30th of June. He called to see how Darien was impacted by the storms. And that was the first time the governor has outreached in time of emergency for us. So thank you to Governor Lamont. I did share with him that we experienced a great number of power outages, the most in the region actually, dozens of fallen trees and down power lines. A tree fell on a car on Hollow Tree Ridge Road. Thankfully, no serious injuries. And our Marine Police Unit and the Sea Legs Water Rescue Unit from the Norotan Fire Department were successful in rescuing several kayakers that got caught out on the Sound in the storm. So thankfully there was no loss of life and no significant property damage. And on behalf of the Board of Selectmen, we want to thank Mallory Aarons, who is moving on to a new job. We want to thank her for her contributions to our community and her 5 years at the Darien Library. Mallory is moving back to her home state of Florida to serve as the Countywide Services Coordinator at the Pinellas Public Library Cooperative, which is an organization that serves 14 member communities. They have regional government in Florida. So please stop by the library before the end of this month and say thank you and goodbye to Mallory. That's it for me.
Just want to say Happy New Year.
In the world of town government.
In the world of town government. A couple other new employees in the fire marshal's office, one of whom will be our new light officer. Just started today, one started today, and one started last week. And most departments are starting out with their new projects for the year, getting things going. So finance is still dealing with last year, but everybody else is in the new year.
And to that point about projects getting started, I hope everybody noticed that the dredging project of the sedimentation basin has begun. And Luke, for your knowledge, when Kate says Happy New Year, our fiscal year begins on July 1. So for our town budget purposes, it's July 1 to June 30th. So that explains that comment.
Did you have a good New Year's Eve? I don't know what.
I actually, one year, when I was in the finance department, I brought like in cake or something on New Year's Eve, and people thought I was, it was June 30th. They thought that was a little weird, but.
Well, that was a Sunday this
We
year,
like
too.
cake
So we had a
anytime.
storm, and so it went out like a
That's true.
line.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to new business, 6A, discuss and take action to approve the proposed changes to the bylaws of the Darien Boat Club. I think you'll remember that we have seen this before, and I made a recommendation that we ask town council to make sure that the bylaws reflected appropriate discrimination language, which has been added to Article 1 under the name. And that language is reflective of what our town attorney recommended. And it was adopted by the Darien Boat Club membership and now awaits our approval. So are there any additional questions about the boat club bylaws? Mark?
Yeah, and I don't want to spend months on the bylaws. I really don't. There's no mention of the lease with the town of Darien.
I thought that was in the other document we got.
The regulations?
Yeah.
I got the bylaws.
Yes, tonight we're approving the bylaws. We also saw it was the rules.
The house rules, maybe.
House
Maybe it
rules.
wasn't in that. I thought for sure it was in one of the documents.
I read through them.
What do you think should be in the bylaws about the lease? Just an acknowledgement?
Well, my next article, that's my Roman numerals, 17, Darien Boat Club property. These pages aren't numbered, but
It's like the
it's
second
second
to
to
last
last page. Section 2, any real estate belonging to the club. Property, I understand, docks, decks, that stuff. Is it real estate land?
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
all
does-
and all
Not
appurtenances there too.
Well, is leased, the town owns the land and leases it to them.
Correct.
They don't have property.
That doesn't mean they won't ever.
Right.
And this would be if they ever did. And if you refer to.
Okay,
The lease indicates that they don't own the property, they lease the property from the town of Darien. So this acknowledgement of real estate belonging to the club is not referencing the land on which the boat club currently resides.
And if you read the full section, it also says, this is how they would dispose of it. But the last sentence also says it, refers to purchasing real estate. So it's about the whole circle of transaction.
if you guys are happy with it, I'm okay.
It has been reviewed by our town attorney
All right.
for for what that's worth.
And then one more. Really, I don't want to spend months on this. The second page, section 4. An applicant for active membership in the club shall be elected to membership by a majority vote of the executive committee on recommendation of the membership committee. It sounds like an exclusive club. Now, I understand the previous section has to do with members have to be domiciled in the town. I believe that duties of the membership committee are only to authorize membership because of proof of domicile.
I agree with you on that.
But it's just not, it could be better.
So wait, so say that again, so the membership committee, who verifies, who,
Well, the first page, Article 3 membership,
yeah,
proof of domicile may be requested, section 3.
yeah, okay.
And the club
executive
requires a phone number and a
Driver's license.
the actual proof of domicile.
Right. So you're suggesting that section 4 somehow creates a different mechanism for membership? It wouldn't be that the membership committee simply would be empowered by section 3 and provide a slate of members that this membership committee would recommend to the boat club membership.
By vote, maybe as a
Right.
group, that they've been verified, their addresses, they've been verified as residents in town. And I haven't sat at one of the meetings, have you?
Are you
When they've done
aware,
this?
Mark, of any situation where this membership
No.
committee has disallowed
No,
a member?
nor am I likely to be aware, but,
They-
because I don't think it's happened.
Well, we did,
No, that we
no,
talked
I asked
about
that
it while he
question.
was here.
Because I was concerned, because to me, because it is on town property, that anyone that is eligible, and it was clearly stated, Tom clearly stated, there was a situation where he didn't get into the detail, but it sounded there was like a legal situation with a prospective member. So they were denied membership. But it definitely sounded like,
Well, what I heard him say is that all residents of Darien are eligible to join the club. And it is not exclusive in any way. I heard him say that. So that's just the way
Right.
I read this.
Because they don't have a cap on the number of
Even.
members either.
That's right. Well, this doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't say
It
that.
doesn't say that.
Would you like more information on how they might use section 4?
Well, one way to interpret it, the executive committee is the membership committee. That's clear. Mark's point is that it would appear that the executive committee can choose
Mm-hmm.
whether a person is eligible for membership or not.
Right.
But Mark's point is, if they're domiciled in the town of Darien and they meet that criteria, they are eligible. Unless, of course, they've done something that's heinously wrong, I suppose, which gives them the opportunity to, or,
Yeah, I would read section 4 as saying, gives them the opportunity to deny membership.
Mhm.
So,
The question is on what grounds?
on
Well-
what grounds?
So I just one point of clarification. Section 4 does not indicate that the executive committee is the membership
I think it's
committee.
two separate.
No,
They're
it
two
just,
separate committees.
Majority vote, yeah.
the, section 3 says proof of domicile may be requested of any applicant or member at any time by the executive committee or its designee. I don't recall there being a membership committee in my reading through this. And then therefore, the executive committee determines domicile, or is the final arbiter of domicile. If that's the only cause for eligibility, that means that they're eligible.
Right.
Then the question of when they become members is a question of the waiting list, right? Should be really it.
No, the waiting list, no, they
There's
become
no-
members.
Yeah,
There's
they're straight
no
in. There's
waiting
no
list
waiting list.
unless you
The
need a
waiting
slip.
list is for a slip,
Or for a slip, okay,
But
sorry.
there,
or a
any
canoe, or a kayak
Whatever.
spotter.
membership is
membership is-
immediate. As soon as you just, yeah.
Membership is discussed in section 7 as a standing committee.
All right, my question is this stuff likely to cause a problem, or am I just, splitting hairs here?
I think they're good questions that you're asking. I am sorry, Tom asked me if he should come tonight, and I said I didn't feel that he needed to. Had I known that you had additional questions, I would have been happy to have him come.
I discovered my questions about 6 o'clock tonight.
Does anyone else have concerns about this? I don't think there's any necessary time pressure on this. I think they're eager for us to certainly approve their bylaws, but I don't think that they're,
I mean, to send them back and have the membership, I'm seeking really the guidance of the members of the Board of Selectmen, you know, is this trivial enough to just let it go? Or do we need to go through another cycle?
Are you concerned about do you want them to have the ability to reject an applicant? Because I think that's what section 4 does give them.
I think the idea is that there's not a lot of clarity on what would be, if someone is a resident of the town.
Why would we not?
Why couldn't they become a member?
So why do they need,
Why would they need?
why do they need section 4?
I didn't know what section 4
Yeah.
existed, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, certainly when our family applied, like, it didn't seem like there was an option
Yeah.
not to, it was just a choice to join.
So maybe that's the question, is why do they feel they need section 4?
Right, to have the option.
And I want to also say in Article 6, Section 2, D, these are powers of the executive committee. Pass on all applications for membership and elect new members to the club. Now, if you've got a membership committee, which doesn't make any sense, you've given all the powers of election and eligibility determination to the executive committee.
That
Section
seems-
3 talks about, on the next page, Section 3 says membership committee.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Right.
that doesn't make any sense, given all the powers you've given to the executive. I mean,
See, and I would have still seen that as an opportunity just to verify, you know, residency, and then they vote as a slate. Everyone who's been verified maybe just as a more, I don't know, standard procedure.
kind of a rule of law is bad construction leads to bad results. And I saw it
So the
clear.
membership committee recommends the applicants to the executive committee for membership.
Yes.
That's the,
But with the idea
Determines
that
their
there's no-
eligibility in
right, the
accordance with
Is that,
Article 3.
is it necessary? Right.
But it says
well,
they're-
it sounds like the membership committee, they
determines their
determine.
eligibility.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
Come
that's
on, you
what I'm
get two
saying, that's
Okay.
Yeah.
more of a logistical side.
But are you thinking once they're eligible, there's no question?
Right, exactly.
So that goes back to section 4, they clearly felt the need at some point, or at least it appears they felt the need to have a mechanism for rejecting somebody.
Correct. And it would
So-
be like us rejecting someone to get a beach pass. You know, I feel like at this point.
well-
Once you prove that you've got your car registered
that's what
in
we need.
Darien, how could someone reject
You
them?
know what,
Why would
I-
you need a membership committee I feel like it's sort of that type of,
so
think-
I hear two questions. I hear that some members of the Board of Selectmen are confused about the powers between the executive committee and the membership committee in relation to membership approvals. And then I'm also hearing that there's some concerns over what circumstances would disallow someone from not becoming a member after application, if they satisfy the resident criteria.
If they're resident eligible,
because
Okay.
that might need to be from a legal standpoint, need to be in there to protect them.
Okay, so
Right.
what I'm going to
Or the
ask,
town.
we're gonna hold on this. What I'm going to ask is that everybody please do another read-through. If there's anything else in here that's concerning to you, please call Kate or me, and let's try and wrap this up for the next time we get
Yes.
together.
Yes, and let me just suggest this, that there is a possibility that the boat club wants to be able to exclude someone who has not been truthful to them regarding their domicile,
Okay,
you know?
and they're not eligible then.
I think they have the ability to make that determination.
They do.
And that's
That's clear.
That's what
Yep.
this does. It also enables other kinds of exclusion because it's not very crisp, but.
Well, and perhaps that's what needs to be done, is to go into further detail about what they, on what basis they might exclude somebody.
Other than eligibility.
Right.
Unfortunately, the boat club has had some of those experiences, and I don't know how many, and I wouldn't want to go into any details, but the boat club is such a wonderful outfit and such a splendid value, that it's tempting, sometimes, people are tempted to be less than straightforward.
Well, we want the bylaws to reflect an accurate process. So if we are uncomfortable with how the process is articulated in the bylaws, we will ask for them to clarify.
Okay,
Okay?
good.
The
All
red
right.
line version was very helpful.
Okay. I would like to ask for a motion to amend the agenda to add item 6B, which is a discussion and potential action on the approval of the St. Luke's Church Run with the Saints Road Race.
So moved.
Susan moves, may I have a second? Pam, all those in favor? Great. So we have before us a request to approve the 5K road race. This is probably the third year, I think, of this road race. November 3rd, 2019, starts at St. Luke's, runs to the beach and back. And it has been approved by the Police Commission.
Oh,
Any discussion?
Well, Danny, our reverend who started this, has just left us to
Oh.
join Trinity Pauling, and it will be a great asset there, and will be missed, but I'm glad this legacy continues.
Great. Any further discussion? I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
So moved.
Kip, may I have a second? Pam, all those in favor? Great. Okay, transfers. Kate,
Just have one from the youth department. We had higher registration than is expected, which does increase our revenue. But the way we work, revenue is on one side and expenses on the other side. You can't, use one to offset the other. So she needs a transfer to cover the increased expenses due to the success of the program. And I will tell you, both Jen and I spoke to Alicia about evaluating the program after this year's camps are done, to see if we had a higher than normal enrollment again. Let's look at it now and plan ahead.
Did we have a higher, was there a difference from last year to this year, or that's what you're talking about?
The difference was the last
Or
year.
2 years ago,
The
2 years
camp that
ago.
was the summer of 18.
Yeah.
Compared to 17. So, my concern is if 19 holds the same as 18, will we have enough in the budget for the summer of 20 camp? Actually, for both, but will we have enough for the 19? So if we need more to cover, let's get it taken care of early, rather than wait until the end of the year.
is there a timing component of this too? When do we receive all the revenues for the summer programs?
But, well, it doesn't really, that doesn't impact the other side of it. We
Okay.
receive the revenues typically in the spring.
Okay,
If we were being really technical accounting-wise, we would split them across the year.
I see.
But the problem is the expense side, it's good for us on the revenue side, but we didn't have enough on the expense side because, we had more kids, bus trips were expensive, going on their field trips, more expensive.
Okay. Any questions about this transfer? Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to approve a transfer of $15,000 from seasonal and temporary and professional services to program expenses.
So move.
Mark, may I have a second?
Second.
Kip, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. We have 2 reappointments this evening. Is it okay if we do them together?
Yes.
Okay, we have the reappointment of Eric Yostin to the Environmental Protection Commission for a term expiring on 6/30/2021, and the reappointment of Barbara Hazelton to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term expiring on 6/30/2021. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Susan, may I have a second? Pam, all those in favor? Great, thank you. We want to thank them both for their continued service. Okay, we have regular meeting minutes of June 17th. Any corrections or additions?
In the attendance area, Mr. Thorne ought to be marked M-A-R-C. I'll say it for him, he's embarrassed. He wanted to be called Mac.
I reviewed these, I didn't see it. They're just like Kate.
Hey, that's okay, yeah, last month it was my name, so.
Any other corrections or additions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
Okay, that was Kip and seconded by Mark. All those in favor? Great, thank you. And then we have special meeting minutes of June 17th.
So I'm a little confused, because the meeting is June 17th, but then it says a special meeting
Oh.
on June 3rd.
I apologize.
Okay.
I
Okay.
typically just copy one
Yeah,
to the next.
yeah, okay, that's my only correction.
Great, then I'll entertain a motion to approve as amended. Pam, I have a second. Susan? All those in favor? Great, thank you. Agenda review. We have a couple of things that we're cooking for
So we're talking.
upcoming meetings.
We're gonna discuss our value statement?
We are?
Yep,
Mhm.
okay.
And we're gonna have a parking meeting, I believe.
Good.
Yeah, we're gonna have a parking meeting in August. Discuss some things that are coming up. I'm looking at the merchant parking, trying to come up with some solutions to that.
Okay. Two things that I want to discuss is to look at forming a small bicycle committee that will work in conjunction with the town of New Canaan. I have a number of recommended participants, but we'll probably be looking for about 3 members of a bicycle committee. And in addition, it's been recommended that we form a small group, maybe 2 or 3 people, to be the census counting committee for the town of Darien for the upcoming census. So they're really looking for a couple of volunteers to help spread the word PR-wise on the importance of responding to the census. So I'll bring those. And if anyone's listening and they would like a short-term way to engage and volunteer with the town to be part of the census counting committee, please feel free to call the First Selectman's office. Anything else? Going once? Going twice?
That
Okay.
seems like a full summer
I think
schedule.
it will be, yes.
I think we're the only ones meeting this summer, though. I keep seeing all the other meetings
Yeah.
getting
I
canceled.
see everything canceled on
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Pam, seconded by Susan. All those in favor?
And we have documents to sign.
Great. Thank you very much. Enjoy the summer, everyone.